We welcome the U.S. Open. This is what a U.S. Open champion looks like. Hello, Novak Djokovic.
Not that great. The morning after.
Oh, come on.
No, I know
look great.
you must still be floating.
But this is nice, yeah.
I want to know when you're down on the court and you're bending down like this, are you thinking, God, it's over, I did good, or that was hard? What were you thinking in that moment?
I'm thinking God is great.
God is great.
I felt a huge relief and just gratitude for that moment. People ask me why you didn't celebrate after the last point, right? After you saw his forehand going to the net. I said, I just felt a huge relief, and I was just thankful it was over. And the first thing I wanted to do after I exchanged words with him at the net is to hug my daughter.
I saw that. We love that.
She was seated
courtside. Did she inspire you during the?
She did. She's my guardian angel. She's my baby. She's my sweetheart. I didn't know that she was going to be seated there. We faced each other as I was sitting on the bench, and she was there. And every single time I would need some encouragement, she would be there. She would give me a fist bump. She would give me a smile, and it would melt me. Because there was a lot of stress and obviously high tension moments, particularly in the second set, and I needed something, and I saw her, and she just kind of channeled that divine energy to me. I felt it.
Well, Tony was there.
I was there. It was incredible. There were moments during that second set in particular where you actually seemed genuinely tired, hands on your knees, falling down on the court. I mean, you're 36 years old, oldest man to ever win the U.S. Open. Sounds funny to say.
Me, yeah.
And you're still young. You're still young.
Were you as tired as you?
I was. I mean, honestly, that was one of the longest sets I've ever played in my life. Probably the physically hardest, grueling set I ever played. And that was probably the key of the match. When I was 2 sets up or 1 set all would make quite a significant difference. And I remember we had, numerous rallies that we,
over 30
strokes. And he was taking away my legs, I was taking away his legs, and it was just anybody's game, really. It was a huge relief and a bonus to win that second set.
So how do you keep going when you're that tired? It was exhausting watching, number one. But the crowd was so with you, Novak. You must have felt that, too.
I did. The atmosphere was electric. It was amazing. Biggest tennis stadium in our sport, Arthur Ashe, over 20,000 people, packed house.
Yeah.
It was just a huge honor and pleasure to be on the court. And I still play for these moments. I still, day in, day out, try to push myself. Okay, wake up, go do your chores, go do your routines, because, if you want to get to the Grand Slam finals level and fight for the biggest trophy in sport, you got to work and you got to sacrifice. So being there, it was just, okay, this is why I am pushing myself every single day. So I might as well give it all, and it was just an incredible experience.
Yeah.
The one thing I admire about you, well, one of the things, is that even though you have accomplished so much and you have been praised as the greatest of all time, you have this humility, but you also have this hunger. I would say speak to athletes, but I feel like people in general need to learn how to deal with success. What would be your advice to anyone that is trying to balance those two things, finding success in something and then still being hungry like you are?
Well, I think setting goals and objectives is extremely important for anything, really. I think that's one of the reasons why I think athletes resonate with people, is because we are able to go through, lowest of the lowest and to the highest of the highest in a very short time span in a game, a tennis match or a football game or a basketball game. And I think this incredibly, wide spectrum of emotions that you go through and, the facing adversities and overcoming the challenges and obstacles is something that people relate to.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to have a clarity in what you want in life.
Yeah.
Understanding who you are. And we're all different. So we all have our individual formulas that work. I think
but you got a different kind of gear. I love your tribute to Kobe, too, at the end when you won.
Yes, Kobe was, Kobe was one of these athletes that left such an incredible mark and legacy, not just on the court, but off the court.
Yes.
He was the one that was, one of the most important people for me when I was struggling, trying to come back from an injury, work my way back. you know, he was advising me, he was counseling me, he was supporting me. He was incredible. Just, you know, I felt like 24 is the jersey.
Novak,
that
you were
made famous,
incredible.
and
You are incredible.
Greatest of
make
all
a
time.
tribute to him.
Greatest
Thank
of
you
all
for waking
time.
up
Thank
with
you.
us.
Yes,
we
we
appreciate
really
it. Novak
appreciate
Djokovic,
Thank
the
you so
GOAT,
much.
is in the building.